all my cutest little children. Okay, just give me a second. I think I am audible. Yes, I am audible and I am visible and everything is all good. Hello to all my cute little champions. So it's been some time since we have studied biology and it's high time to do so. And I have come up with a very serious look. I hope everyone likes the serious look, but don't be worried, it's not just as serious as I look. So this class is going to be fun class. This class is something that is going to help you understand all the basic of your chapter, that is human reproduction, and we are going to go ahead with the topic that is male reproductive system. Now I'll tell you something that is from my experience, and that is your grade 12th chapters are super easy and it's actually very fun. So if I compare with 11th grade biology chapters and then I come to 12th, it feels like I am entering heaven. So I hope you also might have got a hang of it. Otherwise, if you feel that, oh my god, this is even more bad, don't worry, I am someone who will definitely make sure to change that stance. Yes, and everyone who is over here, make sure you share this video link with all of your friends. I know that everyone is super lazy at this time to study for KCET, but still this could be definitely helping you out if at all you put in a little bit of efforts. Okay? Yes. So I think I shall go ahead slowly. All of you will start talking to me. Okay, so Macha, let's begin with the chapter human reproduction. I have completed the chapter sexual reproduction, flowering plants before. There are a few parts that I did and I made sure that each and every nook and corner of that particular chapter was covered. If you have not watched it, you are so free to go and watch it. Okay, Yalamgiri Akka, we miss you so much, Akka. Oh my god, I miss you too, dear. Okay, so yes, starting with the first thing, that is the primary sex organ. Listen to me very carefully. So when you talk about a reproductive system, there has to be someone who is going to make the gametes, right? There has to be someone who forms the gametes out there. These gametes are something that is going to come fused together and it is going to form something that is known as zygote. The zygote is just a single cell made by the fusion of the gametes. Then the zygote divides to form the embryo and then to fetus, and that's how we have the baby, right? Now when I say that the gametes are needed to be formed, where do they form? Do you have any idea where do they form? Where are the gametes being formed? Okay, your name is Varshini. I'll never forget it. Okay, I'll remember it. I'll try my best to remember it. Okay, so the place where all the gametes are being formed, you call this as the primary sex organ. Primary because it does the primary role of making the gametes. If gametes are not made, then how is sexual reproduction going to happen? So there is no point. Okay, so in the case of males, the primary sex organ over here is something that is known as what? Testis. And testis is someone who is very scared to be in the outside condition out there, which is why it is covered in some sac-like structure which is known as scrotum. So you have to use a bit of imagination over here, and that is, suppose I say that this is a body of a man, and over here I say the man has the heart. Until here the cavity is known as thoracic cavity. What do you call it? You call this as thoracic cavity, where you have your heart and everything up there, right? Now when you go ahead, this region that you have, this is basically known as the abdominal region. Okay, it is known as the abdominal region. Just below your thoracic cavity you have your abdominal region, and over here you have your major organ systems and everything like that. But in the case of your male primary sex organ, which is known as testis, it cannot be over here. It cannot be inside. Why? Because testis is doing a very important job. And what is that particular job? This particular job is making what? The sperms out there. And for that, it needs an adequate temperature. It cannot, okay, it cannot do anything if at all the temperature is not being maintained properly. And our body temperature is pretty much high for it to do its working, which is why it needs a lower temperature. So what is the next option? To move out of the body. But if it moves out of the body, oh my God, That is impossible. You need something to hold it. And that's exactly why men have scrotum. So they have scrotal sacs, okay? They have scrotal sacs inside which you have the testis. Why the testis is outside? Because it needs to maintain what? Low temperature. Exactly, Tanvi. It needs to maintain what? A low temperature out there. That is the bottom rule. How much degree lower? You should know also that also it is 2 to 2.5 degrees Celsius lower than the normal body temperature. Okay, just 2 to 2.5 degrees Celsius lower than the normal body temperature. That's all. Okay, and when a baby is being born, you know, this particular testis is basically inside the body. Slowly it has to, and the scrotal sacs also, they have to move down. The testis has to move down outside, and it happens slowly within age. Okay, so that is how it works to reduce heat. Exactly, Karthik. Perfect. So now going ahead with the next thing out there, as I said, we were talking about testis and we need to know more part about it. So location is in the pelvic region. What do you mean by pelvic region? As I was saying, in the abdominal region it has, this is the abdominal region, the region more towards the lower region. It comes under abdominal cavity itself. This region has a specific name. It is known as the pelvic region. Okay, it is known as the pelvic region. Please know it is a part of your abdominal cavity itself. Now main parts is testis, aceriducts, glands, as in the main parts of all the male reproductive system. We'll come to that. Now scrotum is what? Is the one that holds the testis, maintains 2 to 2.5 degrees Celsius lower than the normal body temperature. Why? For spermatogenesis. What is spermatogenesis? The process of making of sperm. The process of making of sperm. Okay, now coming to the shape of testis. Testis is ovular in shape. It is what? Oval in shape, and the length and the width is also super important. So I'll give you easy funda to remember it, and with that I am pretty sure you'll never forget it. So listen to me very carefully. Okay, it goes like this. So if I say the width over here is 2 to 3 centimeter, it is what? 2 to 3 centimeter, and the length over here would be 4 to 5. So you need to remember like this: 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. So 2 to 3 is the width and 4 to 5 is what? The length. This is an MCQ question that has come in KCET examination. So you should not be missing out on the small information as well. Okay. Now getting inside the testis, what do you have? You have testicular lobules and you have seminiferous tubules. Now for that I need to make a diagram and I'll show you. So this is the testis. Assume that there are almost 250, okay, how many? 250 compartments like this. 250 of them are there. Okay, and what do you call them? You call them as team lead. I remember like this: team lead. Team lead means testicular lobules. Inside the testicular lobules, under a team lead, what do you have? You have so many people, right? That is why the person is leading the team, right? So here also the team lead, when I say that testicular lobule is there, one testicular lobule will be having under it 2 to 3 seminiferous tubules. How many? Almost 2 to 3 seminiferous tubules. So please know we have 250 testicular lobules like this, and in each compartment that you have how many? 2 to 3 seminiferous tubules. And this seminiferous tubules is where the sperms are actually going to be made. So if at all I have to zoom this particular part and I have to show you, it looks like this. So this is a testicular lobule that you have. Inside that you have 2 seminiferous tubules, suppose. So this is one seminiferous tubule. This is going to be another seminiferous tubule which is out there. Inside this one seminiferous tubule, what is happening? The sperm formation is taking place, which you call as spermatogenesis. What do you call it? Spermatogenesis. Similarly, here also spermatogenesis is taking place in the next seminiferous tubule out there. Ma'am, is the lecture going for going to write NEET? This is actually for children who are presently in 12th and are preparing for KCET examination, dear. Okay, it would not be ideally for NEET children. For NEET, obviously it has to be paced up a bit. Okay, Tanvi, I hope I was able to answer your question. Yeah. Okay, so yes, that is a funda that is happening up over here. Now, what is the thing that you have, ma'am? This space that you have inside the testicular lobule, this space is entirely free, right? Nothing is there, or what? Something is there, something very important is there. And what do you call this? First of all, what do you call the space as? You call the space as interstitial space. What do you call it? Interstitial space. And inside the interstitial space, what do you have? You have certain cells which you call as what? Interstitial cells. Okay, you call them interstitial cells. They have a different name as well. It's not just known as interstitial cells. They have a different name. You can also call them as Leydig cells. What do you call them? You also call them as Leydig cells. So I'm just giving you a brief. You have the testis. Inside the testis, 250 testicular lobules. Inside each lobule, almost 2 to 3 seminiferous tubule. Inside the seminiferous tubule, the sperm is being formed. Outside the seminiferous tubule, you have some space. You call it interstitial space. Inside the interstitial space, you have interstitial cells, or what do you have? You have the Leydig cells. And now we need to know more about it, which is why I'll take you to the next slide where we'll have more understanding of it. So this is our seminiferous tubule. This is our seminiferous tubule. Now you see some cells marked in green, some cells marked in brown color, and some cells in the between. You know what are these cells known as? These cells are known as Leydig cells or interstitial cells. We just discussed about it. But now we'll study about their function as well. Starting with the first guy that is up there. It is saying something, that is, I am a Sertoli cell, I nourish the mighty spermatogonia. What do you mean by that? So I told you that within the, within the seminiferous tubule, the sperms are being made, right? Who is the mother of the sperm cells? Who makes the sperm cell? It is known as spermatogonia. Okay, it is known as spermatogonia, which undergoes division to form the, the sperms later on. So there should be someone who is going to nourish this mighty spermatogonia really, really well, such that it can divide and finally form the sperms. So this cell, which actually nourishes, is known as Sertoli cells. What do you call it? Sertoli cells. So in Hindi, Ser means what? Head. So similarly, just imagine that this Sertoli cell is nourishing, is giving some nice, massage on its head. On its head of what? The spermatogonia. Please understand, the Sertoli cells are also known as nurse cells for the same reason. What do you call it? Nurse cells. Because nurse, my dear children, is a very respected profession where they nourish, or basically they take care of the patients, right? Similarly, that is happening up over here. So please remember, Sertoli cells is there for nourishment of spermatogonia. I know this is a kiddish way of learning things, but I'm pretty sure you will remember it like this only. Okay, now we spoke about it. What about the next one, the spermatogonia? What do they do? I am spermatogonia. I am the one who undergoes division to form the sperms. They are the ones that form the sperms later on, right? Yes. Done. That is also done. Now we are left with this guy that is there in the between, and who is that? It is a Leydig cell. So, I am Leydig cell. I secrete androgens without which even sperms can't be made. My God, I didn't study the function of androgens until now, right? So listen to me carefully. These cells which are there in the middle, they are not just chumma lying up there, macha. They are having some work. What is the work? Basically, they are the ones that are going to make or synthesize the male what? The male hormones, testicular hormones that are known as androgens. The male hormones are known as what? Androgens. And the famous amongst all the androgens is what? Testosterone. What do you call it? Testosterone. So androgens, or basically specifically testosterone, all of it is made by this guy that is known as Leydig cell. But why are we making it? We are making it because for the process of spermatogenesis, as in for the formation of sperm to be done, okay, that is spermatogonia to divide to form sperm, you need some hormones as well. Without the information given from the hormones, they are not going to do anything. So these hormones are being secreted with the help of the Leydig cells or the interstitial cells. Remember that as well. BTS, hello dear, hello. Akka, we meet you. Yes, definitely we can meet. Okay, so we will meet after studying all this particular chapter, okay? Okay, so let's go ahead. So this is how it usually works. Cool. Now we'll just have a quick read, and with that probably we might understand things better. So seminiferous tubules is lined by spermatogonia. So seminiferous tubules is lined by spermatogonia, as in just imagine that basically you have so many spermatogonia out there, okay, on the surface out there. Now they undergo meiosis to form sperms. I hope all of you know that whenever I say that a gamete is going to be formed, it has to undergo meiosis. Meiosis is what? Reductional division. So suppose I get a wound over here, okay, I get a wound over here. At this particular point of time, when I get a wound, what is going to happen? The cells are damaged up there. Now new cells, the old cells which are there, they're going to divide and make the new cells out there. here when the cell division takes place, it is known as mitosis. They are just filling up the space. They are not worried about the chromosome numbers. The chromosome numbers are going to remain the same. If I had 46 number of chromosomes in a normal cell, the other cell will also be 46. But in the case of gametes, things are going to be different. If I have a cell and I want to make a gamete out there, if it is 46, if it's having 46 number of chromosomes in the major cell, if it is having 46 number of chromosomes in the major cell, when it undergoes meiosis, it will give a cell with half the number of chromosome, that is 23. That is 23. Why? Why does it undergo meiosis or reductional division? Because always remember, gametes come from male, gametes come from female, both of them come together, and that's how you form the zygote out there. So 23 when it comes from here, and 23 when it comes from the other partner, 23 plus 23, 46, and we have the normal number of chromosome. If at all meiosis has not taken place, what is going to happen? 46 will remain 46 only. One male gamete containing 46, another female gamete containing 46. 46 plus 46, 92. Now that's not humanly possible. We need a normal cell, and for that, first of all, it needs to undergo meiosis. So in the seminiferous tubules, the spermatogonia which is there undergoes meiosis to form what? Sperm. Always remember, it undergoes meiosis, not mitosis. Okay, so just give me a second. BTS, I am your KC 90 student. I got 96.8 in second PUC. Oh my God, congratulations. And I was a little disappointed, so I couldn't interact that day. It's really good. 96.8 is a really good score, dear, and I'm super proud of you. Okay, yes, so don't be disappointed at all. It's a really good score, and I hope it worked well for you in KCET as well, dear. Okay, so yes, now Sertoli cells, what do they do? So we spoke about seminiferous tubules. We said that spermatogonia are there. Apart from it, we also have Sertoli cells. What do? They provide nourishment to the germ cells. They basically provide nourishment to these cells. Studied about that. Now we have interstitial space, as in the space between the seminiferous tubules. What is there in there? There we have the Leydig cells. What do, Baba? They basically produce androgens, or what you call as testicular hormones. Done. Apart from that, there is also one more very important thing that you should not be missing. This space which is there will also be having blood vessels. Okay, it would be having blood vessels. So the interstitial space which is there, it has what? It has Leydig cells, it has blood vessels, and it also has immunological cells, as in the cells which are going to trap any pathogens out there and kill them out. Now this is our body, and obviously there are chances that there could be so many pathogens. So there should be someone to trap all of them, right? And that is basically the work that is done by the immune cells which are over here. So suppose if I say there can be some bad cells, and to eat these bad cells you need some good cells as well. So yes, so these are Leydig cells. This is the bad organism out there. To kill them, you have other immunological cells as well, which is basically the white blood cells. They are going to do the work. Yes, doubt akka, tell me dear Varshini. Insta ID, no Insta ID, come guys. Let's study. Why do you need Insta ID? I am totally over here itself in YouTube. What's the point of having Insta ID, dear? I got 47k rank, OMG, never spent, not even my dreams. Now I'm just planning to choose my career. It's okay, BTS. 47k rank. Okay, so that means CET examination somehow. Okay, but still, don't lose your hope. Check out what all options do you have within the rank range which is there. We are doing several videos for all the rank ranges. Check out and then only go ahead with making an option entry. Okay, this is very, very, very important. Okay. Yes. Ma'am, I comment the question. Dear, always Sheikh, I'll definitely reply to it. Okay, thank you for reminding. I didn't see that. Daily class timing is 4:30 to 5:30. Okay, let's go. So that's about your testis, and I think we have discussed everything about it. And now it's time for a quick question. The nourishing cells in the seminiferous tubules are. What are the nourishing cells in the seminiferous tubules? A. Follicular cells, B. Leydig cells, C. Sertoli cells, and D. Spermatogonial cells. What do you think is the answer for this question? The nourishing cells in the seminiferous tubule. I told you, Yelamgiri has given me, that is Varshini has given me the answer. She says it is basically the Sertoli cells. It is basically the Sertoli cells. Always Sheikh also said it is Sertoli cells. Exactly, Baba. It is going to be what? Sertoli cells. I told you, nourishing cells, nurse cells. Sertoli cells are also known as nurse cells. Why? Because they are going to nourish our spermatogonia. So always remember S for spermatogonia and S for Sertoli cells. There are chances that you might get confused between Leydig and this one. That's why I'm just telling you. Yes, and Mamta also gave me the answer. Always Sheikh also gave me the answer, and Varshini also gave me the answer. Thank you so much, dear, for your participation. Yes. Okay, so BTS, I'll definitely try to do so. Okay, I'll try to look into it. Cool. Now going ahead to the next question, which one of the following characters favors the process of normal spermatogenesis in human male? As in the normal process of formation of sperm in the human male. Which of the following character is going to favor it? That, oh my God, finally let the sperm be made. Which helps in doing that? Descent of testis into the scrotum, testis remain in the abdominal cavity, infection by mumps virus during childhood, and increased scrotal temperature. Which one do you think is going to favor as in going to help? Read the question carefully. Okay, the English can be a bit complicated, but still you children can do it. Come on. So I got one answer as D. Varshini gave me as D. Always Sheikh said A. Anyone else to give me other answer? Altogether saying that these guys are wrong, ma'am. I have a different answer altogether. Read the question carefully. I read it for you once again. Okay. Which one of the following characters favors the process of normal spermatogenesis? Helps in normal formation of sperms in human male? That is a question. First is descent of testis into the scrotum. Descent means movement of testis from the body into the scrotum. Is that the one? Second is testis remains in the abdominal cavity. Testis stays in the abdominal cavity, does not come out. Okay. Third one is infection by mumps virus. Oh my God, that is dreadful. Okay. Obviously infection is not going to help in any ways. Increased scrotal temperature. Increased scrotal temperature. Remember, sperm formation happens only in 2 to 2.5 degrees Celsius lower than the normal body temperature. Now, that is why it is put in the scrotum. In the scrotum, if you increase the temperature, do you think sperm formation will take place? No. So, I think the only answer that is correct. You always change the answer. Baba, you are correct only. I tried to make you confused. Okay. So, the answer is going to be A, no. Why A? Because if testis moves into the scrotum, then only things are going to work. If it remains in the body, it is high temperature. Here it is high temperature if the testis remains in the body, which is why this testis has to move into what? The scrotum. The scrotum will provide 2 to 2.5 degrees Celsius lower than the normal body temperature. So the answer for this question is going to be this. If it remains, my dear children, high temperature is going to be there. If you increase the scrotal temperature, that also will not working. It is there in the scrotum to decrease the temperature. Right? So the answer is A. Exactly, BTS. Okay, so always Sheikh, your first answer was correct, and Varshini Baba, I hope you have got the concept. Okay, got it? So these are what? These are basically your KCET questions. Okay, these are KCET PYQs. It's okay. It's okay. Always Sheikh. Okay, let's go ahead with the next question then. Next content then. So. First thing that we studied here in this chapter is the male reproductive system. We are studying that as of now. The first part of the male reproductive system is the primary sex organ, that is testis. Why call it primary? Because it is doing a very important job of forming the sperms, and without formation of sperms there is no sexual reproduction. That is why it is known as primary sex organ. Testis is inside the scrotum to maintain a temperature 2 to 2.5 degrees Celsius lower than the normal body temperature. Your testis is oval in shape and the width is 2 to 3 and the length is 4 to 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. Always remember that. Inside the testis, 250 testicular lobules. Stem lead. How many? 250. Under each stem lead, you have 2 to 3 seminiferous tubules. How many? 2 to 3 seminiferous tubules. Now, after that, okay, in the seminiferous tubules, what do you have? You have two cells. One guy is Sertoli cells and the other guy is spermatogonia. Sertoli cells nourishes the spermatogonia and say, Macha, you form sperms, Macha, no problem, I'll take care of you. Okay, so Sertoli cells is for nourishment of the spermatogonia. The spermatogonia forms the sperms also. So that is a role. Now in between two seminiferous tubules there is some space. What do you call the space? Interstitial space. In this space, what do you have? In this space you have few things. Okay, one is Leydig cells or interstitial cells. What do these cells do? They form the male sex hormones. What are these hormones? Known as androgens. Altogether they are known as androgens. This is not a name of a hormone. It's basically all together they are known as androgens. Under that, the major hormone that you have is testosterone. Okay, this testosterone which is made in between is sent inside the seminiferous tubules. Why? Because the spermatogonia who's forming the sperm will need this particular hormone to form the sperm. Okay, for the process of formation of the sperm. Now, apart from the Leydig cells, what do you have? You have blood vessels in between. You have immunological cells which is going to kill any pathogen that is roaming around in the testes or basically in the male reproductive part. That is how things are going to work. Cool. We studied about all of it, and now we are going to go ahead with the next one, which is what? The male accessory duct. Which means what? Baba, you form the sperms. Now the sperms need a way to move out. It cannot just stay inside the testis, right? For them we need some work. Now, okay, no man, Nasiya no man, ma'am, when will chem and math class start? Dear, the math class and the chem class started. So basically for math you had the first class yesterday. Okay, so I think, yes. Okay, ma'am, thank you so much BTS, oh my god. Okay, cool. Now we're going ahead with the next thing, that is the male accessory duct. So we had the primary sex organ, then we will talk about the duct, and while we talk about the duct, we'll talk about the glands also. There are so many things. As of now, just imagine that the sperm is ready already. It needs a road to basically travel, and this road is nothing but the ducts out there. And this is where all of you might get confused with the names and the stuff like that. It's kind of a little confusing, but I'm pretty sure you are going to ace that up. I will be teaching you. You just need to listen to me very carefully. Okay, it's a bit complicated, but if you listen to me carefully, you will never forget it. So listen, here is one testis. Okay, and here is another testis. Cool, ma'am. Inside the testis, I told you, you have testicular lobules, stem leads, right? So let's make it. These are the testicular lobules that you have. How many do you have? You have 250 of them. Ma'am, will you make all of it? No, ma'am. Obviously, no. We will be making it over here. Okay, we cannot make all 250 of them over here. Fine. These are what? Testicular lobules. So I'm just writing TU. I cannot write it there. So basically, just imagine that they are the TL. Now inside the TL, what do you have? You have the seminiferous tubule. So I'm just making it like this. 2 to 3 seminiferous tubules are there. Now sperms are being formed here. We need to take it outside. Okay, we need to take it outside. So let's take it outside. The sperm say, ma'am, I want to go out. I want to go out. So let it go out. When it goes out, basically, it opens into a duct like this. It opens into a duct like this, and what do you call this? This duct is the first duct given in your NCERT, and it is known as... Did I remove everything? Okay. Just give me a second. I'll make here, because I think visibility problem will be there. Okay, fine, I'll make it here. Now it should be visible. Just give me a second, guys. I'm so sorry. We have... This is the testicular lobule. Inside this, we have the seminiferous tubule. So I'm making the seminiferous tubule. Now I'm saying that the seminiferous tubules open into a duct. It opens into a duct which is known as, this particular duct which is there, it is known as rete testis. What do you call this? Rete testis. This is the first duct that you have to remember. and I hope you will remember it. Now, from the ready testis, it says that no, I have to go out. Why don't you understand? I have to move out of the testis. So it tries to move out with the help of the next duct which is out there. And what do you call this duct as? You call this vasa efferentia. You call this vasa efferentia. So you can remember that it is trying to exit. The sperms are trying to exit. So E for efferentia and E for what? E for efferentia and E for exit. That is how you can remember. So first ready testis is there. Then you have vasa efferentia. I'll talk about the mnemonic also. Do not worry. Okay, I'll talk about the mnemonic once I explain this. So it has moved to vasa efferentia. Now it says that, oh my God, I still am not able to move out. I really want to move out. But you know what? It says that wait macha, you have to wait for some time. So basically from this duct, the sperms are made to travel to the next duct out there, which is a highly coiled duct, and this highly coiled duct which is there is known as epididymis. It is known as epididymis. So the first one is ready testis, second one is vasa efferentia, and the third one is epididymis, which is a highly coiled duct, and if at all we try to open it, it is almost 6 meters long. How much? 6 meters long. So it's that big. Okay? Works? Yes. Now we go ahead. There is one more duct that is finally going to do the job of taking the sperm and carrying it forward. And who is that? It is known as vas deferens. Vas deferens, D for difference and D for distance. But before I talk about that, you need to have a bit of imagination. Everything is happening within the scrotum, inside the testis. Now basically this duct is going to travel to the body, inside the body. Until now it was happening in the scrotal sac. Now things are going to go inside the body. So that is where your next duct comes and plays a very important role. And as I said, the name of this duct is what? Vas deferens. What do you call it? Vas deferens. This is your fourth duct out there. So until now you are in the scrotal sac, but now you have moved inside the body. Inside the body, Baba, what is there? Inside the body there is one very important organ, a very important part. It is known as the urinary bladder. It is what? The urinary bladder. You need to use a bit of imagination because we are moving inside the body. The kidneys basically are going to store all the urine, are going to send all the urine inside what? The urinary bladder. And here you have what? Here you have your vas deferens. The vas deferens, which is carrying the sperm, rolls around, okay, rolls around or moves back and front and comes over here. So it's like a shawl that we put from the back side, and the front it is going to come like this. Similarly from this side also you are going to have a similar kind of thing. From here it is going to come like this. Okay, from both the sides you are going to get a vas deferens. So just for an understanding, I can probably make it something like this. This is going to be your epididymis over here also, and from here as well you are going to get a vas deferens that moves like this. So from both the sides you have getting a vas deferens which is carrying the sperms out there, right? Now what happens? There is someone waiting for the sperms. And who is that someone? It is a gland. So until now we were talking about duct. But here comes the role of a very important gland. Gland is something that is going to provide some secretion. That is why you call them as gland. So the first gland that you have over here, okay, is known as, it has a specific name. It is known as the seminal vesicle. It is known as seminal vesicle, and please know it is not a duct. It is going to be what? A gland. It is going to secrete something. Similarly here also you have this gland, and this gland is trying to secrete certain thing over here. What is this certain thing? It is basically fructose. So the sperms which are coming in over here, Baba, they need energy. And who provides this energy? The seminal vesicle provides fructose, saying that hey sperm macha, you need to move fast, I'll provide you energy. So this this is a gland that comes in between. For example, you went to college, and while you came back, you saw a shop, very nice shop where you have jalebi and all these things are there. Similarly, just like this, en route while the sperms are traveling, it saw a shop, that is seminal vesicle, where it is selling what? Fructose for energy. That's all. As simple as that. Someone is asking my name. My name is Jasmine. Just give me some time, okay? I'll reply to all of your things. Cool. Now, let's come back. So now, over here, if at all you notice, this seminal vesicle is secreting its secretion over here. It is also secreting its secretion over here. Now, together, the duct of the vas deferens and the duct of the seminal vesicle, both of them form a new duct altogether. Here also and here also. What do you call this duct as? You're gonna call this duct as, anyone knows the name of this duct? Ratan Kumari said seminal vesicle. Perfect. Anyone knows the name of the duct which is being formed with the fusion of seminal vesicle and also the duct of vas deferens? Any idea? Any crazy idea out there? If yes, let me know. Let me see who knows about this. No one knows? What if you open our NCERT and try to check it out for once? Come on, let's make it interactive. Otherwise, it will be just me talking and you will get bored, macha. Then there will be no fun in this particular class. Come on, guys, tell me. The seminal vesicle is opening and the vas deferens is also opening together to a common thing. What do you call this? So I think, ma'am, why is this channel underrated? Manjula, is this channel underrated? Ayyo. But yes, obviously it deserves more love, right? So definitely make sure you share it with all your friends out there. Cool? Okay. Always Shake says seminal plasma. Thanks, Always Shake, for trying. I love it. But listen to me, that is a secretion, okay? Seminal vesicle secretes seminal plasma and all the other things. It's not the answer, but I'll tell you the way. Anyway, you tried and I'm really, really glad for that. It is known as the ejaculatory duct. Ejaculatory duct. So what happened? These guys, seminal vesicle and basically the vas deferens formed a common duct out there, and that is known as ejaculatory duct. And this ejaculatory duct, Baba, is going to open up together into the next part of the story. And what is that part? Listen, you had the urinary bladder. What does it store? It stores the urine, and urine needs a place to move out. No, it cannot be there forever. So basically, you have the urethra. What do you have? You have the urethra, where finally the urine is going to move out. Ma'am, but we were talking about sperm, now you're talking about urine. Yes, I am talking about urine and I'm also talking about sperm. So do you mean that both the sperm and the urine travels the same way? Yes. In the case of males, you have a common passage for urine as well as the sperm, which you call as what? Urethra. What do you call this as? Urethra. Always remember it. So, now, coming to the mnemonic part of things, as in the easy way to remember the names. As I told you, here you have rated testis. The rated testis opens into what? Vasa efferentia. Then finally it coils into epididymis. And then finally the sperm is taken to distance with the help of vas deferens. And then the vas deferens opens into ejaculatory duct, followed by what? Urethra. And the last part of urethra, the opening of the urethra, it is actually known as the urethral meatus. What do you call it? The urethral meatus. That is how things work. And the mnemonic is Ravi visits every village. What is it? Ravi visits every village. So R for rated test is Ravi, visits V. Ravi visits every village. That is a way to remember it. And Vasa efferentia is there, vas deferens is there. How do you remember it? I always say the one who carries it to distance, it is known as deferens. So Ravi visits every village. You can remember like that. It will be easy way for you to work. Okay? Same path for both. Exactly. So guys, have you got it? Will you remember it? Will you remember it? So if, okay, I'm giving you a challenge and you have to give me, say yes or no to it. I'll be showing you this and you have to tell me whether, okay, after little time, after some amount of time, I'm going to ask you a question and you have to give me the whole route in message. Here, you have to be careful. I'll be talking about a bit more things over here. Followed by that, I am going to hide this particular page and I'll ask you a question and you give me answer. Is it deal or no deal? Give me right now. If it is deal, give me a thumbs up. If it is no deal, put it like this. Okay, always shake is super ready for it, I think. What about others? Deal? Varshini? Okay. Varshini is also super ready. Cool. Then I'm going ahead. Okay, so this I'm not going to repeat. I'm going to go ahead with the other thing which is there. So we were talking about seminal vesicle, right? And I told you it's a gland. Bhavit is also there, gave me thumbs up. Perfect. Okay. So this is a gland which is going to secrete something. We are going to talk about glands next. Since anyway I had made this picture, I need to talk about few more things. So we completed the duct part. We are going ahead with the gland part. Seminal vesicle is the first gland out there. What does it release? It says much of sperm have some fructose. You will get some energy. So this is the first thing that is being released. Now going ahead, you have the next duct out there, or basically not the duct, sorry, the gland which is out there, and you call this gland as, this is the gland. You call this gland as prostate gland. You might have heard people doing the prostate operation, right? This is the prostate gland. It looks like a donut. Okay, it looks like a donut. In between, there's a space through which the urethra passes. This is a prostate gland. It does not have any paired glands. Here in the seminal vesicle, you saw this side also seminal vesicle is there. This side also seminal vesicle is there. It is a paired gland. This is the only unpaired gland. And what does it secrete? It secretes calcium. It secretes calcium, and basically it also secretes what? Certain very important enzymes. So please do remember, the first guy releases fructose, the second guy releases calcium plus certain enzymes. Why do you think these enzymes are important? Why do you think calcium is important? For the process of fertilization to happen. For the sperm, no, to meet the egg and do the process of fertilization, you need the help of calcium as well as the enzymes. Exactly, which is why the prostate gland is going to release that. Okay, that is the next gland that we have, the second gland that we have. Now going ahead with the third gland. But before I go ahead with the third gland, I have to make something over here. And now this is what? The penis. This is going to be the penis. So just before the start of the penis, over here, you have bulb-shaped gland. You have two bulb-shaped glands. They are also paired glands. This is again a paired gland, just like seminal vesicle. What do you call this gland as? They look like bulb, which is why you call them as bulbourethral gland. So just beside the urethra you have it, so you call it bulbourethral gland. And what does this do? It helps in lubrication, or yes, always shake, you're correct. It helps in lubrication of the penis, okay, such that the sperm can easily travel to. It acts as a lubricant. That's all. Okay, so you have seminal vesicle which releases fructose. It is paired gland out there. It provides energy. Then you have prostate gland. It is donut-shaped gland. There is no pair, unpaired gland. It releases calcium and the enzymes, which is super important for fertilization to happen. Then you have bulbourethral gland. They are paired in nature, and you have basically two of them. They look like bulb, and they are therefore lubrication of the penis. What is it? The use of it? It is lubrication. Now, remember it. Bulbourethral gland is also known as, there is one more name to it. It is also known as the Cowper's gland. Cowper's gland. Bulbourethral gland is also known as Cowper's gland. They can exchange the term and give it to you just to confuse it. Do not be worried. It's the same thing only. So these three glands are there. These three secretions are there. The secretions of all of them together is what you call as seminal plasma. Okay, it is known as what? Seminal plasma. So seminal plasma is nothing but the secretion of all the three glands which is there. When the seminal plasma and the sperm come together, okay, the seminal plasma and the sperm come together, you have a separate term for it. What do you call this? This is what you call as semen. What do you call it? Semen. That's all. Okay, so three glands. Just close your eyes and recollect it. What is it? Seminal vesicle, first one. produces fructose. Second one, prostate gland produces calcium as well as the enzyme. Third one, bulbourethral or Cowper's gland helps in lubrication. All of the secretion together, you call it as seminal plasma. The sperm plus the seminal plasma, you call this as what? Semen. You call this as semen. Done? Done? Okay. Is it clear until this particular point? If yes, give me a thumbs up. If until this particular point it is clear to all of you, give me a thumbs up. Okay, perfect. Cool. Now, this part that you see over here, this is what? So I'm pretty unsure. Okay, I'll try to zoom this in. No, it does not zoom. So over here, this part that you see is the male external genital organ. It is known as the external genital organ. External genital organ means it is outside the body, and it's a genital organ. It is there to pass the gametes out there, right? It is known as penis in the case of males. Now, it is nothing. In between, you have the urethra which carries the sperm and everything, and just outside it, you have some erectile tissues. Some erectile tissues which is going to get erect and helps in the process of sperm transfer later on inside the female body. So it is just made of erectile tissues, and this is the whole penis, and at the tip, my dear children, at the end, it is enlarged. It is enlarged, and the enlarged portion of this particular penis is known as what? It is known as glans penis. So this enlarged portion that you have over here, it is known as glans penis, and basically it has a loose fold of skin right over here, and this loose fold of skin which is basically attached over here, it is not attached over here, so which is why it can move up and down, and it has so many nervous stimulations which excites the men, okay, which excites the men. So over here, this particular skin which is there is known as foreskin. It is known as foreskin. So this is the external genital organ that is there. The enlarged portion below it is known as glans penis. The glans penis is actually covered by a loose fold of skin which is known as foreskin, and it is strictly having so many nervous stimulations out there to excite a man during sexual intercourse, such that the erection can happen. Yes, it is also known as prepuce as well. Okay? It is also known as prepuce as well. For NEET aspirants, yes. Cool. This is how everything works in this particular case, and I hope you were able to understand it. Please take a screenshot, because I don't think it will be there carried forward to the next slide, because it's an additional slide that I made. Cool. Now I will be asking you the question, since you guys said that yes ma'am, we can go ahead with the question. The first question goes like this: choose the correct sequence of sperm transport during ejaculation. Okay, let's begin. First option, seminiferous tubules, vasa efferentia, rete testis, epididymis, vas deferens, ejaculatory duct. Second one, seminiferous tubules, then rete testis, then epididymis, then vas deferens, vasa efferentia, ejaculatory duct. Third one, seminiferous tubules, rete testis, vasa efferentia, epididymis, vas deferens, ejaculatory duct. And the fourth one, seminiferous tubules, rete testis, epididymis, vas efferentia, and vas deferens, and then ejaculatory duct. What do you think is the answer for this? Ratan Kumar, your class is superb, ma'am. Thank you so much, dear. Okay, so Yelamgiri, Varshini says the answer for this question is B. Guys, think and tell me the answer, okay? Think and tell me the answer. Check each and everything, try to recollect everything out there, and then give me the answer. It's okay, take your time. So, Varshini says B, and Always Shaikh also says B. Bhavat says 4. Okay, so 2 and 4 is what you are giving me as the answer. Are you sure? Ravi visits every village. R for Ravi, R for rete testis. Visits, V for vasa efferentia. Every, E for epididymis. Village, vas deferens, V for vas deferens. What do you think is the answer? Manya is there. Hello Manya. So Manya, the answer is actually 3, no. First, seminiferous tubules. Then you have rete testis, Ravi. Visits, V, vasa efferentia. Every, epididymis. Village, vas deferens. And then you have the ejaculatory duct. This is going to be the answer, no? Why this is not the answer? Because in rete testis, they have next given epididymis. That would be wrong. That will be wrong, no? First comes vasa efferentia, and then comes this particular thing. Cool. Do not get it wrong. Here also, why this option is wrong? Here you have put retitestis, then epididymis again. Wrong thing. Ravi visits every village. Exactly. So the answer for this question is going to be 3. And guys, this also is something that you can remember. Rete sends, Vasa bends, Epi stores, and Vas explores. What do you mean by that? Basically, over here, Rete is the one that is going to send the sperm. Like, Macha, you go. Okay. Vasa, which is there, Vasa efferentia, it is going to bend out there. It is going to bend Vasa efferentia. And then epididymis is the one that is going to store the sperms. It is 6 meters long. It is going to store the sperms. And finally, Vas difference, it goes to distance. D for difference, goes to distance. It explores. So you can remember like that also. But I think this is an easier way to remember. So try to remember like that. Works. Now I hope you will not make mistake. Yes. Perfect. Now let's go ahead with the next question. Now, the male accessory accessory duct include. You're talking about the accessory duct. Okay, what do they include? Retitestis, Vasa efferentia, epididymis, and vas difference. Retitestis, Vasa efferentia, epididymis, and seminal vesicle. Retitestis, urethra, epididymis, and vas difference. Retitestis, Vasa efferentia, seminal vesicle, and vas difference. What do you think is the answer for this particular question? Always Sheikh says A is the answer. Is it A? Very easy, right? Yes, ma'am, it is A. Okay, Ratan Kumar said B is the answer. Ayyo. Okay. What about others? Any other optional answers for me? Any other answers out there? So the actual answer is actually going to be A only. Why A? Why not B? Because here seminal vesicle is being put. Seminal vesicle is a gland. No, I told you 3 glands are there. Gland is basically going to give secretion. Okay, and duct is basically going to help in transport. So these are 2 different things. You should not be forgetting. Okay, Mania also A. It's okay, Ratan. You do not need to take away the answers. Listen, nor me, nor the friends that you have over here are going to judge you on anything. Okay, we all are friends and we do not judge. That's the rule policy of Jasmine Mam's class. Okay, in my class, no judging. So you're free to give me wrong answers until and unless you're ready to relearn. When we do mistakes, no, we relearn. So always try to remember that. That's all. Cool. Here also, why it's not the answer? Because urethra is given. Here, why it's not the answer? Seminal vesicle is given. This is the one that contains all of them to be correct. Retitestis, Vasa efferentia, epididymis, and vas difference. And also, ejaculatory duct is also a duct. Do not be forgetting that. Cool? Yes. Now, about the accessory glands, we already studied about it, but still we can just have a redo of it. I told you there are 3 glands out there. One is this. So this is how it looks. Okay, this is how it looks. You see this gland which is there, it is your prostate gland. Sorry, it's not prostate, I'm so sorry. Seminal vesicle that is there. What does the seminal vesicle secrete? It secretes fructose. What does fructose do? Provide energy, or basically I can say that it nourishes sperm. Okay. Then over here you have this particular thing. This is known as prostate. It looks like it is having 2 glands, but it's not like that. Okay. I told you in your NCERT things are being given a bit differently in the form of picture. It just looks like a donut, and through the donut pass your urethra. So you can just remember it's an unpaired gland. Okay, it does not have any pair. It releases calcium and the enzymes. That's all. Fine. Now you have bulbourethral glands. It helps in lubrication of the penis. All of them together, Baba, they are going to form what? The seminal plasma. The secretions of all of them together is known as seminal plasma. The seminal plasma plus the sperm is known as what? The semen. The semen. That's all. Cool? Yes? Works? Now, unpaired. Yes, unpaired. Try this question. Which one of these is not an accessory gland in the male reproductive system? Which one is not an accessory gland in the male reproductive system? Varshini, where are you? Where should I find you from? Okay. Which one of these is not an accessory gland in the male reproductive system? Come on, come on, come on. D is a female gland, and Bhavit also says D. Exactly. What is D over here? D is Bartholin's gland, and Bartholin's gland is actually a female gland. It's not even there in your NCERT. It's more towards vagina. It helps in lubrication. Okay. So over here the answer is D. All of the others are male glands. Prostate gland, you just studied. Seminal vesicle, you know. I told you Cowper's gland is the other name of what? bulbourethral gland. It is the other name of bulbourethral gland. So that is also sorted. Yes? Works. And now finally, we have the external genitalia, the male external genitalia. That is what? That is basically the penis out there. And for the penis, I told you, it is made of erectile tissue. Erectile means basically they can get erect, and this is super important during the process of insemination. What do you mean by insemination? Transfer of sperm inside the female body is known as insemination. Okay, it is known as insemination. So if at all it is not erect, it cannot basically transfer the sperm, which is why some men who have erectile issues, they go see a doctor. That's when things get fine. You got it? So that is the role of erectile tissue. And apart from it, this particular thing which is there, the enlarged portion over here of the penis is known as the glans penis. And as I said, it has a loose fold of skin. Why do you say loose fold? You see, here there is an attachment, but here there is no attachment. That means it can move, the fold of skin which is there, it can move up and down out there. And this stimulates the men for erection. You get it? So that is known as foreskin. What do you call it? Foreskin. In between that, what is going, this particular tube that is going is nothing but your urethra. It is the urethra. The end of it, the opening of it is known as urethral meatus. It is known as urethral meatus. That is how things is going to work. And now solve this question as well. Read the following statement about the seminal plasma and choose the correct statement from the given options. So this is for you. You have to solve this question and give me the answer. Cool? Let's go. Seminal plasma is secreted by the seminal vesicles, prostate and the bulbourethral gland. It is rich in sucrose and calcium. It contains certain enzymes also. 1, 2, 3 options are given. You have to tell me which of them are correct ones. Always check. Said C is the answer for this question. Is it? Okay. What about others? Any other answer for from all of you guys? Come on. Try. Any other answer? Okay, Bhavit says C is the answer. Bhavit also says C is the answer. Always Sheikh also says C is the answer, which is why I think we should be locking up C, right? Let's see. What is C? C means 1 and 3 are correct. 1 is seminal plasma is secreted by seminal vesicle, prostate and bulbourethral gland. Correct. Absolutely correct. It is rich in sucrose and calcium. Array, it cannot be rich in sucrose. No. Who is secreting sucrose? There is only fructose being released. So this particular statement is going to be wrong. What are we left with? We are left with third one. It contains certain enzymes also. Yes, does it contain certain enzymes as well? Obviously yes, and that is secreted by the prostate gland. So I can say that 1 and 3 are correct, which is why the answer for this question is going to be C. It is going to be C. Ma'am, only 2 members. Yeah, only 2 members are there. So probably you should be sending out this live notification to all of them. Actually, there's a problem from our end also. The teachers, some of them are working from home and some of them are here. This is why all of us cannot come together to give a live orientation and stuff like that. But please, my dear children, start to understand that, okay, from now on, it has begun seriously. Okay, I think all the classes are coming to you. If at all you have not got a clarity this week, probably, so math class was there yesterday also. So if at all by any chance you had not got a clarity that okay, there was a class and this was happening, it is going to get aligned. There are a lot of things that are happening up here in the team. So yes, okay, but now since you know about this, probably you can share it with your friends so that they also can join. Okay, so every Monday, I'll tell you, every Monday you will be having physics class. Every Tuesday you will be having chemistry class. Every Wednesday you will be having math class. Every Thursday you are going to have biology class. And every Friday you will be having a quiz session. That will be basically 1 week if it is done by physics, the next week by chemistry, the next week by math, and next week by bio. Okay, Saturday and Sunday you would not be having any live classes. There could be strategies given to you in the video section. Yes, this is how it is going to go from now on. Cool? Works? Yes, Sheikh. Okay, so I will definitely check what is the comment out there in that particular part. Cool? In the 4th part is said, right? 4th part. Let me see it. Okay, so in an experimental setup, a researcher removes the synergids from an ovule just before the pollen tube entry. The pollen tube is observed to grow erratically near the micropyle and fails to discharge. Okay, listen to me very carefully, okay? So now that's a different chapter, but it's okay anyway, we have completed this, so I think I can explain it to you. And anyone who comes to me with doubts, I cannot leave them like that. So I'm just going to explain a little off topic over here. This is the egg cell. These are the synergids that you have. And basically at the top, what do you have? You have the antipodal cells. Antipodal cells. Cool? Now what is going to happen? You have the pollen tube being coming. The pollen tube contains what? The male gametes. It contains the male gamete. Always understand who helps in, guiding the pollen tube inside the embryo sac. This whole structure is known as the embryo sac. Who helps in guiding the male gamete? That macha, you have to come and fuse with the egg cell. Who helps? Basically, it is the synergids which are there. Synergids. These synergids which are there, they are going to help it in. Okay. How do they help here? Basically, these synergids have something like this. They are known as filiform apparatus. It's known as filiform apparatus. This filiform apparatus is the one that will be guiding this pollen tube to enter through this and go and meet with the egg cell. So here in the options that you have given, okay, synergids provide the nutritive material. So the question is like this: in the experimental setup, as a researcher removes the synergids, if at all they remove the synergids, okay, just before the pollen tube entry, the pollen tube is observed to grow erratically near the micropyle. That means it does not grow fine and fails to discharge its content into the embryo sac. Which of the following explain this? Which of the following explain this, Baba? Synergids provide the nutritive material for pollen tube growth? Wrong. The filiform apparatus of synergids guide the pollen tube and facilitates entry. That would be the correct answer. And if it is not there, obviously there is no one to guide as well. Cool? Works? Sheikh, I hope your answer is given here itself. Okay, and now you do not have that doubt anymore. Perfect. Please, Akka, what happened, Varshini? Love you too, dear. Okay, so my dear children, that's all for today's session, and I hope this particular, you're most welcome, Sheikh. Okay, I hope you guys will be consistent and be there for tomorrow's class done by Soumik sir, and lots of love to all of you. Bye bye, and please take care.